Waiting for Next Year podcast, WFNY BrownsCast edition, episode 12. I'm your host, Josh Poloha. With me, as usual, Joe Gilbert. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and this podcast, like always, is brought to you by the Evergreen Podcast Network. This Thursday night, we are going to preview the Browns-Jets matchup for Sunday afternoon, home opener in Cleveland. It's supposed to be it's going to be like a summer day out there, like mid to high 80s, sunny. Just imagine, 12 weeks from now, it's going to be 12 feet of snow.
I know. These are the days you got to remember.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're just to preview Browns-Jets matchup. And as I put in the description, for the first time since 2004, the Browns are 1-0. And for the first time, potentially, since 1993, the Browns could go 2-0. 1993. If you thought 2004 was a long time ago, the last time the Browns went 2-0 was 1993. Joe, how are you doing? How's your week going? How does it feel to be 1-0? How was your victory Monday, by the way?
It was good. Ever. Weird feeling. Yeah, it's been a good week. It's just kind of fun going into week 2 and having the chance to go 2-0. It's weird.
It is weird.
It's just weird.
It is very weird. I know my buddy at 11 Warriors, Ramsey, tweeted out in a tweet that has since gone viral. He quote tweeted the Browns tweet that said 1-0 on to next week or whatever it said, and he said this is the first time the Browns have ever been able to tweet that. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit.
It's so crazy.
Because Twitter, the Browns last won week 1 in 2004. Twitter was created in 2006. And when I saw that like in writing, I was like, holy cow, man. It is. I don't care if Carolina is the best team in the league or the worst team in the league. It is so hard to win in the NFL. A W is a W. So I'll take it any way, how ugly it is, how awesome it is.
Yep.
A W is a W.
And we're gonna have to win ugly in the first 11 games probably. It's not gonna be pretty sometimes. So yeah, it was kind of good that they showed that they can do it in the first game of the season. So yeah, moving on to the Jets, go 2-0. That's fun to hear.
Man, Jets. All right, let's just get into it right off the bat. Jets, led by the one and the only Joe freaking Flacco.
Is he
the
elite?
Fact that he's still in the oh my gosh. Maybe Joe Flacco 15 years ago was elite. Was Joe Flacco this is honest question. When was Joe Flacco drafted? Was it mid 2000s? It seems like it was I don't think it was. It seems like it was so long ago.
Oh God, I want to look that up. Let's see.
From Delaware, right?
Yeah.
It seems like he's been in the league for literally decades.
He was 2008.
2008?
Yeah.
So Delaware. He's been around for 14 years. I thought it was longer than 14 years, to be honest. But yeah, led by Joe Flacco. I guess wanted to start with the Jets side of the ball first or the Browns side of the ball first. Doesn't matter to me. It's all you.
We can start with the Jets. It's gonna be weird.
I know. Yeah. Can he still is he still like mobile? Can he move, or does he just catch the snap and wherever he catches the snap, he's either getting sacked and going down or throwing the ball?
He's not mobile. No, it's not the Joe Flacco. Well, he was barely mobile when he was young, but yeah, it's gonna be another Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney party. Yeah,
a Thanksgiving feast just in September.
Yeah, because if we thought the Carolina offensive line is awful, this one is pretty much right there with it. It's a really bad offensive line with a really stiff statue in the background or the backfield. So it's going to be
a stiff statue. That is I would love to hear Joe Flacco's response to you calling him a stiff statue.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be another feasting by Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney in the pass rush. They should dominate that matchup, and it should. It's if we thought last week was a low scoring game, I think this one is gonna be right there with it.
Were you gonna call it low scoring, or I heard a shit? Were you gonna call it a shit show? Because you're perfectly allowed to do that.
I wasn't, but it could be.
I heard it last week was a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, Joe Flacco. I know I asked you this prior to the podcast. Without looking and just like without really thinking, just like, hey, name some Jets starters that come to your mind immediately. I think I can only name 3. It's Joe Flacco, Breece Hall. And so it's the oldest of the bunch and 2 rookies. Joe Flacco, quarterback. Breece Hall, rookie, Iowa State. And then wait, I'm trying to think.
Come on.
No. I just picked up their backup running back too, and now I can't. Clement? No, not Clement.
No, it's
I just picked up their backup running back in fantasy, and now I cannot think of who it is. But the other guy is Garrett Wilson, rookie wide receiver from Ohio State. I know you said Quinnen Williams, and I'm like, oh yeah, duh. But I actually would like I have to think just off the top of my head. I can only name 3 of 22 starters and no defensive players.
I can name quite a few, I think.
Do it now.
Do it? Okay, fine. We got Joe Flacco. Michael Carter is the other running back in the backfield.
Yep.
He actually had a better game than Breece Hall last week. You got Garrett Wilson.
That's why I tried to pick him up. But go on.
Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, the other receiver.
Damn it.
That's about it on offense. Well, Tyler Conklin is also their tight end because I just picked him up on fantasy. That's how I know.
Oh, that's it. How did you know Tyler Conklin?
Yeah. On defense, CJ Mosley, Quinnen Williams. They got Sauce Gardner, one of the best names in the league.
One of the best names, but from one of the worst universities, Sauce Gardner.
True. I think that's about it off the top of my head. But
yeah, it's just crazy that like I remember that when the Jets used to be like not elite, but used to be good. It seems like they've been. I mean, we thought the Browns have been bad for like the last decade. I feel like the Jets have been somehow even worse in the last decade.
They haven't been good since Sanchez was in the league.
Oh, God. Since the butt fumble.
Really? Yeah, that was literally the downfall of the Jets franchise.
That was oh man, you should write about that. Write about that for Sunday. How the butt fumble was the downfall of the Jets franchise ahead of their matchup against Cleveland week 2.
I gotta look up what that record is since that game. It's gotta be freaking low.
It has to be the butt fumble. And I just think it's hysterical. I know this is a tangent. It's hysterical how you can literally say the butt fumble, and to any NFL fan, they'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. Was it on Christmas?
It was a night game.
Or Thanksgiving.
I'm pretty sure it was a night game.
It was either Christmas or Thanksgiving.
With the whole world watching.
All right, I can. Yeah, that was. But that's yeah. That's
but offensively, I mean, the offense somehow evolves around Joe Flacco. That basically says how good their offense can be. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the weird thing about their team is like they have really good young, like special, like skill position guys like Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall probably be good sometime soon. Michael Carter, Corey Davis was a solid player for the Titans.
And then he got paid and has never been the same.
Yeah, Elijah Moore, another young receiver. It's just like they just don't have anybody. Like they can't get the ball to them. Like they have no quarterback until Wilson comes back, and
you have senior citizen. Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You have senior citizen Joe Flacco and another quarterback, Zach Wilson, whose best highlight in the NFL is literally a report that came out that said that he was getting with his ex's mom. And that's why him and his ex broke up. So that shows you their quarterback room right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Joe Flacco and a guy whose biggest highlight is getting with his ex's mom.
Right. And their offensive line is just terrible. It's a dumpster fire. So it's like the inverse almost of the Browns, really. Besides the running back, our running backs are better, but like our receivers aren't the top, but everything else is pretty dominant. Well, quarterback obviously, but we'll see. Yeah, it's an offense that like it's weird. They got blown out by Baltimore last week. They gave up big plays and they couldn't really do anything. I think they scored nine points, and yeah, it's not a good offense. It's another opportunity for the defense to really kind of dominate, and like we saw in the first half of last week.
And in case you were wondering how bad the offense is, the over-under for the game is currently 39.5. It's not too often that you see an over-under in the 30s when it's supposed to be mid-80s out, no snow, and no rain.
Yeah, and I would say I would take the under on that one.
Same. If you were to bet for entertainment privacy, because we live in Ohio.
Yes.
So, defensively, the Browns should have a heyday. Clowney and Garrett up front. Linebackers, hopefully JOK and Anthony Walker do well again. The back seven, I'm not worried about them whatsoever. Yep. I think the defense is going to dominate again. I mean, one, it's because I think they're really good, and two, because the Jets' offense is, I think, horrible. Yeah, a dumpster fire. Do you know that meme or that GIF? Yes, I said GIF and not GIF because it's not peanut butter. GIF of like the dumpster fire literally like being in a flood and it's like going down the street. That's the Jets coming to Cleveland. That's the Jets offense coming to Cleveland.
That is the Jets. Oh my goodness.
All right. Yeah. Defensively, do the Jets show any hope whatsoever since their offense does not?
Defensively, their front seven is pretty solid. They have probably one of the best interior defensive linemen in Quinnen Williams, as we were talking about. So he's pretty good. They're gonna be tougher than Carolina to run against because they have Quinnen Williams, they have CJ Mosley, they have Quan Alexander at linebacker. So it's gonna be a bit tougher kind of to run against them, but their secondary is pretty bad, to say the least. Their corners are good. They have DJ Reed and then the rookie Sauce Gardner, but there's a rookie, so you can pick on rookies in the NFL. And then the safeties aren't very good. So it's going to be there. It's not a deep defense either. So when you go to nickel and all that you can exploit them. So it might be a time where the offense or the passing game has to do a little bit more. Hopefully Amari can get the ball that actually is in his hands and not 10 feet away from him. I expect, I said this at the end of, in our post game last week, I expect them, the passing game to be better. I expect Jacoby to be better. So I think they'll step up and do just enough that they need to get the win. And Nick Chubb is still going to be Nick Chubb, and he'll get his yards and he'll get his rushing yards, and they'll be all right. I think it's not the most dominant defense, so they should be able to handle them.
Sorry, I unmuted myself with M, and it's in an unmute. As Adam certainly said, run the ball with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. The offense and defense will play well too. I just don't see how that isn't going to happen. I mean, the Browns, I think, are going to get a big enough lead where they can just run the ball, even though, I mean, even if they didn't have a lead, they're still going to run it. But I'm going to bet the house on the freaking Browns covering 6.5 on Sunday. Yeah. I have no faith. I mean, Carolina, yes, Baker's Baker, but like it was always like Baker could have that revenge game. Carolina has some playmakers. They have CMC in the backfield. The Jets have like Garrett Wilson, who's good, and Breece Hall, who's good, but you have Joe Flacco at quarterback with an average offensive line and not so great defense. I have no faith in the Jets whatsoever. None.
Yeah, the kind of the drop from Baker to Joe Flacco is pretty big.
That says a lot.
And that says a lot. It does. So we'll see. But yeah, I expect them to cover. I agree with you. I don't think they're that good, and they got ran out of the building against Baltimore. So I think that continues.
So for those betting minds in those pick'em leagues, like I'm in 2 pick'em leagues, I'm one of them. He picks 5 games for you, and then you pick 3, and then the other league you just pick whichever. It's both of them are against the spread. I hope in that one where he picks, like the guy picks 5, and you have to pick 3 of those. I hope Browns -6, -6.5 is one of those. Please.
Yeah.
I see the Browns winning by at least 14 to 17 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but so offensively, I hope Jacoby Brissett has a better game. I know he didn't do anything wrong. Like, he didn't do anything to lose the game last week, but he also didn't do anything to win the game. He missed a lot of windows. I know Amari Cooper was wide open a couple times, and he just either missed them or didn't see them. I just hope like a guy like Jacoby Brissett has a good game. Maybe Anthony Schwartz. It's a confidence boost for him again after having a couple of good plays last week. David Njoku, I sure as hell hope he's going to get more than one target. I know Stefanski praised his blocking, but you didn't pay David Njoku top 5 tight end money to be a good blocker. Let's be honest.
To be just a good blocker.
Yeah, true. One target. I didn't watch the film like some of the. I know there's a lot of guys that watch film now. My go-to guy is always Jake Burns, former WFNY great, but. David Njoku, I want him to have a breakout game. I want Amari to have a breakout game. And I guess I just want Anthony. I guess David, the whole team. It could just be a huge confidence boost for an offense that is still trying to find themselves besides Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt. I guess is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. It's the thing that they happened last week for the Jets was they actually gave up quite a few big plays to Baltimore. So this could be a week where we can see maybe a deep pass to Amari or a deep pass to Njoku down the seam. We definitely need to see an improvement on just pretty much everybody on that passing game. Jacoby's got to be more accurate than he was. He's going to miss opportunities to go deep, which is just who he is, but he's more accurate than what he showed. So I think he'll improve in that area. And then, you got to give it. We have very few really top tier passing options. We have Amari, and the other one is Njoku. So we need to target him. We got to target him.
Yeah, like I said, the whole passing attack is literally question marks, including Jacoby Brissett, besides Amari. David Njoku, yes, he's getting paid a shit ton of money, but he's a question mark about can he live up to those. Yes, Deshaun Watson being the quarterback is going to make a huge difference for a guy like Njoku, but still. And then you have David Bell, Anthony Schwartz, DPJ, who showed a lot of promise.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if he can continue
have back to back. Yeah, he needs to be consistently. If he can consistently prove that he's like the second best wide receiver on the team or even the first best, that is a huge boost for this offense.
Yeah, that's always been a problem with him.
Yes, he's inconsistent.
Yeah.
So defensively, we just got through because the Jets are freaking terrible in 19 minutes, less than 19 minutes. But if you were to, will there be more No, that's a bad question because Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt will have more rushing yards, and I think Jacoby Brissett will have more passing yards. Just how well, what will Jacoby Brissett's stats look like on Saturday or on Sunday? You think, and who will be the leading receivers? Like, if you were to guess, if you were to give projections,
I would say so. They definitely want to pass it less than they did. I think he threw it 34 times, if I'm not mistaken, the last game. So I think probably throwing it around 25 to 30 times, 200 to 220 or something yards, and hopefully a couple touchdowns or a touchdown at least. I really think Amari's going to have a big game. He had a good, for a guy, I don't know, how many catches did he finish with? He didn't finish with a lot, but for a guy who had that little production, he played really well. He caused 2 penalties by just his route running and prowess there. So I feel like he'll get open. That's what you want in a receiver. He'll get open. Jacoby's just gotta find him, and I think he'll have a pretty good game. I think maybe I would say 80 yards. I'm predict 80 yards for him, and then I think the run game will be the run game once again will leave the offense, especially late in the game. We saw this 2 years ago, where they're this is similar to what the Browns have to do this year. They shut it down in the fourth quarter and kind of just ran behind Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and they produced really well in the fourth quarter. I think they have one of the best fourth quarter stats in the entire league. So I think we'll see that, and that's how they'll pad the running back numbers again.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And by the way, you were talking about last week, Donovan Peoples-Jones led the receivers with 6 receptions, 60 yards, and he had 11 targets. That was also that team high. Amari Cooper, 3 receptions, 17 yards, which, I mean, looking at the stats side, you think that's ugly, but he was open quite a few times.
Quite a bit. He should have had a touchdown.
Yeah, and Jacoby Brissett just missed him. Like, he was off target on a throw, or he just didn't see him. But he had 3 for 17 and 6 targets, which was second highest on the team. I know it's like, this is such a Browns game where they should dominate, and it's either going to be close or they're going to lose. But I literally think there's no way they lose, especially with the home opener. I mean, the dog pound's going to be going crazy. It's going to be so weird having like a mid-September game with it being mid-80s outside.
Yeah.
But I just don't
Joe Thomas is going to Ring of Honor. So
that's true. So Joe
exciting.
Thomas will be there. Well, Joe Thomas will be there every time. No, he won't be there. I was thinking that he does radio, but that was just for the preseason. He was doing TV for the preseason.
Alfie will be on the field.
That's what. See, now are you reading the comments on the side?
I
This
am.
one from Anthony. I was going to bring it up once we went through this. The Browns. Non-Cleveland fans, I feel like, are very confused why an elf is associated with the Cleveland Browns.
Confused.
But it was the first logo they ever had. I love it personally, whether it's the standing elf or the running elf, which the running elf won the contest to be at midfield. But Anthony said the field is fire. He used the emoji fire and fire spelled out. Brownie the elf, undefeated at home. Here we go. Cade York is the god of kicking. Man, I love his energy. I wish I could have that energy on a Thursday night. But yeah, the elf at midfield. I know a couple years ago the Browns went with no midfield logo, which is just I hated that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the NFL. Like, at least put something. Yeah, at least put something there. Freaking high schools nowadays have a midfield logo. Why don't the Browns? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I love the elf, whether it's running or the standing still one.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
give me the elf all day. I don't want to get into the discussion of whether the elf should be the new logo and a freaking helmet shouldn't be the logo. But I love the elf is all I'm going to say.
I got some dogs barking in the background.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. Tell the mailman to go.
I know. Tell the mailman to go. But yeah, I'm excited to see the field. I think the coolest thing of the past couple of years was the orange end zone, which is okay.
Man, progress.
So it was nice. It was not, for so many years. It was just a Browns helmet, so it's going to be nice to see something else in there. And I know it's very Cleveland. It's like a Cleveland thing that no one else will pretty much understand. But it's going to be
kind of like the Guardians.
Cool.
Honestly, I don't want to talk baseball. I don't want to bring baseball into this, even though it is the first place Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
But I feel like the elf and the Guardians have a lot of like similarities because
no one
Clevelanders know what it means.
Yeah.
But literally no one else does.
Yeah. Yeah. That is very true. Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see. Just the photos they've shown they're pretty cool. The fans voted on it, so it was popular in Cleveland. So, and that's all that matters. Quite frankly, we care less as what other people think. That's the Cleveland motto. So,
I think there's another way to say that, but that way is not safe for work.
Yeah, Cleveland against the world. It's gonna
only
be
in Cleveland.
Only in Cleveland. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see, and I do agree that Cade York is the god of kicking.
Knock on wood right now, please. Speaking of wood, that freaking sign behind you, I just now saw it. Happy pumpkin spice season. You are so basic, Joe Gilbert. Oh man, I don't know why I just saw that, but I just saw it and read it. So I mean, preview wise though, we just flew through that because there's just not much to talk about on the Jet side of the ball. But
it's nice to
there's
have
no way
special
that.
teams.
Oh, go on.
It's nice to have. We haven't really hit on the special teams, but it's
Wait,
nice to actually have one to rely
Can
on.
you clarify? The Browns still don't have a punt returner or a kick returner. Do you mean special teams isn't kicking and punting?
True. Yes.
They have half of special teams, which is better than not having any at all.
We have 2/3. Well, yeah, but we have half. Never mind. There's 2 punters.
I was saying, wait, how did you get 3 out of 2 returners, a kicker, and a punter? How does someone let you go? How does someone let you explain yourself? So the Browns have 50% instead of having 0 or 25%. That's progress. I do agree with that. They still need a returner. Very bad. That Jakeem Grant, I feel like that's like a very underrated injury. He tore his Achilles, and I mean, we talk about this every podcast. Jakeem Grant, they signed him during the offseason. He was a Pro Bowler. He tore his Achilles in one-on-one drills first week of training camp. They literally brought him in to kick and punt return. That's it. I mean, yeah, he was going to be a receiver at times, but not really. And I think, this might be a hot take. I don't think it is. The only reason Anthony Schwartz is still a Cleveland Brown is because Jakeem Grant got hurt.
Yeah. Might be the only reason Demetric Felton is.
That's true, too. Which shows you, I mean, we can talk about this on the podcast maybe this offseason, but the Browns do not have a good track record of drafting wide receivers.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see with David Bell and Michael Woods. So let's not hold any. We'll see. They've only taken, 2? Well, Demetric Felton wasn't even a receiver, quite frankly. He came out as
I'm not even talking about high rounds, like Anthony Schwartz.
Yeah.
Demetric Felton, okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
David Bell, hopefully. DPJ, he's shown glimpses, but I just wish they could draft like that go-to guy like that.
Yeah.
I'm not even asking to be like Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams. Just be like Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow is a perfect example. Yeah. I would love to have a Hunter Renfrow on this team.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's kind of the Achilles heel of the front office. They haven't been able to kind of figure out the receiver room. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they develop the young guys on the receiving core. They're giving all the opportunities. It's pretty much seems like this is the year that they need to step up, and if they're not, they're gonna get replaced pretty quickly next year.
True, especially with Deshaun Watson at quarterback all of next year. Assuming he's the quarterback all of next year, I don't think he can't be, but it's Cleveland, so who the heck knows? But yes, a good quarterback makes receivers better, but there's a point in which the receivers just have to be good.
Yeah, we saw in week 1 for the Packers. They lost Devontae Adams, and they kind of struggled on offense. So it's obviously you can definitely make up for it with run game and good tight ends, but you got to have at least something out there. They have one thing. They have Amari, so that's a good starting point. But they need someone to step up, and hopefully it's Donovan Peoples-Jones, because that would be pretty huge if they can get an in-house guy to develop as the number 2. That's a huge thing for this team.
I completely agree. I mean, now we're talking about freaking the future, which shows you how bad we think the Jets are. But Sunday, I mean, I know you're going to the game.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most looking forward to besides the 60 minutes of game time?
Elfie? No.
I know you're looking forward to getting through the gates, because I saw they brought in these things where you can just walk through or slide through them instead of getting checked.
Yes.
So that will be nice for those. Yeah. I mean, I've literally only been in 5 Browns games in my life, so I have no experience doing that. But I just know going to
Ohio State not games, a fun.
It is a mess, especially when a lot of people think that they can show up at 1 and be in their seats by 1:10 for 1:05 for kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen. I mean, be smarter than that. But it is nice to see that the stadium, Jimmy Haslam, whoever it was, brought in those to make it more efficient.
Yeah, the nice thing about Ohio State, there's 15 different gates, 16. It seems like there's gates every few feet around there, and at what First Energy, I think there's 3. So it's just bottlenecks into. It's just and we go back to it. It's just a poorly made stadium. We all know it. We're all stuck with it.
My block quote from that is Joe Gilbert wants a brand new stadium. He wants to tear down First Energy Stadium.
I do.
Now.
I would like a dome. Thank you very much.
I don't disagree. The fact that the Browns built a brand new stadium and didn't build a retractable roof were the retractable roofs cool though? Like, you know what I mean? Wasn't
Houston? Well, it wasn't retractable. That's not a retractable, but that's a dome that was built.
And now the thing is like to not build a retractable dome, but like Minnesota, where it's a dome, but it's all glass on top. So really, it's not a dome, but it is a dome.
Yeah, or the stupid Dallas one where it blinds the people for half the game.
You just called Cherry World stupid.
It is a stupidly built. Let's just talk about this before we.
Man, we are really going off on a tangent.
They have a giant scoreboard. They have a giant scoreboard that you can kick punts into, and it's just like a mulligan. You get a mulligan for hitting it. And then there's a giant windows on the side of the thing. So when the sun goes down, it shoots right into the quarterback's eyes. So that's also great. So it's more of a spectacle than a practical stadium.
More of a spectacle than a practical. I don't know where you just got that out of. I think you just got that out of left field. But I like that. Yeah. Jerry World, more of a spectacle than a practical.
Yeah.
Even though his practice facility is like for a 10,000 seat practice facility, it's like Jerry, way too much money, dude. Just start donating that back, please.
Seriously, do something.
I'm all for the Browns getting a new stadium. No, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I'm all for that because
I don't know. There's rumors this offseason that they're thinking about it, maybe, but we'll see. But
yeah, I'm thinking about dating Taylor Swift. I'm thinking about dating Taylor Swift, and we see how that's going to go. So,
yeah.
Another
thing on the stadium, like anywhere else besides that place, like it is a bottleneck just getting down there. There's 2 ways to get out of there. That's not a great way to do this.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but Blossom Music Center and that's the music. That's where the concerts are in the Cleveland area and Cuyahoga Falls, and Brown Stadium have a lot in common. Yeah, because there's literally only one way to get in and one way to get out, to get into the parking lot and out of the parking lot, and it's literally only like 3 entrances to get into the concert venue or into the football stadium, when there could be a lot more. So, I just want to see: did the person that built Blossom also build First Energy Stadium? Were they part of that same plan? Because it's all coming together.
Probably. Whoever they did, they literally made the most cookie cutter stadium of all time. The First Energy is just
you're right though. First Energy, it is literally like, all right, where can we put where people are no matter what can be stuck in traffic on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. Let us put it in the farthest back part of Cleveland that we can possibly put it in. All right,
on the lake, right on the lake where it's gonna be freaking cold there. Yeah, let's do it. It's just and in a game that you need to kick field goals and use the air and all that. Let's put it on the lake where the wind just blows off of it. Yeah, what a good idea.
Man, you are so dumb. You're really, really dumb. For those of you, please, if you don't know where that saying this came from, YouTube. You're so dumb. You're really, really dumb. Please, you'll laugh your heck out. You'll laugh your ass off. I promise you. You know what? You know where I'm going. Hi to kids. Hi to laugh. All right, man. We are 34 minutes in, and somehow I've gone on like 10 different tangents. But anything regarding the Browns jet scheme, I mean, I'm sure you're pumped to go and hope. Mm-hmm. I don't see how they don't start 2-0 for the first time since 1993. I don't. We were 2 years old. No, actually, if it was fall of 93, I was almost 2 years old.
Yep.
That's crazy. We were 2 years old the last time the Browns started 2-0.
Yep.
Man, we're really dating ourselves.
And I think Bill Belichick was the coach.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this on the last preview, right?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, the guy the Browns did not. For those of you that can't hear me, they did not fire Bill Belichick. The Browns The Cleveland Browns did not fire Bill Belichick. All right, CBS. I know CBS always does graphics. Nick Saban and Bill Belichick were once Cleveland Browns coaches, and then they were both fired. No, when Cleveland went to Baltimore, when the Browns turned into the Ravens, they let Bill Belichick go, so it was not Cleveland's fault. But off to my 12th tangent of the night.
Yeah, it's. I think that was the downfall of the Browns franchise. It was when I think they traded Bernie that year.
Which one?
The start of the downfall. How about that?
Okay.
It was. I think they traded Bernie.
There's been a lot.
They traded Bernie, and then like the fans revolted, and it just was bad vibes for the rest of the time. Don't look up
bad vibes for what?
If you don't want to feel bad about this season going 2-0, just don't look at what their final record was in 1993.
In 1993, what was it? They started off 3-0.
7-9.
They started off 3-0, went 7-9.
Yeah.
I mean, judging by the Browns' schedule, though, I'm not going to say anything, but that is a real possibility again this year.
Yeah.
I'm being like a real. I'm not being like a homer.
Yeah.
The Browns could legitimately start off 4-0 and then go like. Well, I guess it can't be 7-9. Obviously, the Browns could start off 4-0 because of their schedule, and then because they have Jacoby Brissett for the first 11 games of the season, they could legitimately go like 8-9.
And how good the freaking AFC is! Like it's a tough conference, man.
It is. Yeah, I know. I think we talked about this last time too. It's crazy how the Browns are finally good, and the AFC is loaded, and now the Cavs are. I mean, the Cavs are finally good going back to last year because they weren't supposed to be that good last year. Now they're supposed to be really damn good and probably like a top 3 team in the East. Yeah. And the East is freaking stacked. Like, why? Why does the East and the AFC have to be stacked?
I think all the time that the East that the Cavs were crappy over the past 3 or 4 years, the East was terrible. The East was really bad.
Then again, as a Cleveland fan, we can't really say much of anything about being in stacked places. That's because we also have the Cleveland Guardians.
The AL Central is a little bit
by far the AL Central, not even close. It is the worst division in baseball. Not even close.
Yeah. Very true. So we get it one way and then the other. So I guess.
Yeah. So 2 bads, 1 good. So I'm glad it's not 0 for 3. But man, it's just crazy how the Eastern Conference in the NBA is stacked and the AFC is stacked in the NFL.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I mean, last week, Monday night, Denver in Seattle, Geno Smith goes off in the first half. Russell Wilson, who came to the AFC, that's part of the reason why the AFC is stacked. His Broncos, I think they were 7-point favorites, 7.5-point favorites, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle looked free. I mean, I know winning in Seattle is tough because of the 12th man, but Seattle looked pretty good, and Denver could not convert on the goal line. Like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I think 2 fumbles on the goal line, right? 2 fumbles.
So maybe Russell Wilson did know what he was doing when he passed the ball during the Super Bowl way back when.
True. Yeah, if you look, we talked about how stacked that division is. That division, what the Raiders lost, Chargers and Kansas City, I believe, won, but
Chiefs dominated.
Yeah, Chiefs. I feel like all the offseason talk of like the Bills and all that, people were just forgetting that Patrick Mahomes exists and Andy Reid exists, and they're definitely not a team to forget. I know they lost Tyreek Hill, but they still have the best quarterback in the league and probably the best coach right now in the league. So, yeah, that's a good combo.
You think Patrick Mahomes is still better than Josh Allen?
I do.
If you do only choose one, you pick Patrick Mahomes?
100 times. 100 out of 100.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know. Josh Allen's running ability combined with
Patrick Mahomes is the same.
80 yards.
See, the thing, like, I just think his overall passing ability is better, and his running ability is really good. Like, he doesn't run a lot because he's so talented at his throwing, but he can run the ball too. That's crazy thing about
But
Mahomes.
Josh Allen will run you over and then laugh in your face about it. You know what I mean?
That is very true.
I hate my buddy is a huge Bills fan. He was born in Buffalo. He still lives around Buffalo. So he reminds me of being the Bills Mafia. But like I just wish I really want to be a Bills fan, but they're in the AFC, so I can't be. They're just so easy to root for.
I know. Yeah. It's those two quarterbacks are kind of funny because I was right about Mahomes and I was completely wrong about Josh Allen. Like I think
a lot of people were.
I thought Josh Allen's going to be a dumpster fire coming out. He couldn't hit a barns. What do they call it? The side of the barn or whatever.
I don't know. The broad side of a barn.
There you go.
He couldn't throw a ball in the ocean even if he was on a boat.
Right. Yeah, and just his progress, a lot due to Brian Daboll, who's at the Giants. But his growth is just amazing to watch, and I was completely wrong on him. And then I actually thought Mahomes would be really good. Not this good. I don't think anyone can predict an elite quarterback like this, but it just kind of shows you the different what scouting can be and what draft analysis can be. It's 50-50 sometimes. Like you can go either way.
I mean, that's why, speaking of draft analysis, those Mel Kiper and like literally everyone that has a full-time job being a draft analyst, whether it's NHL, NBA, MLB, that is a great job to have. It's almost like being a weather person. If you're right 50% of the time or even 30% of the time, you keep your job.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's whether you know the science and all that, just like draft analysis, you know the skill sets and the players and all that. It's just the ending result may be completely wrong in what you believe. So it's that's a very good comparison.
Man, I'm gonna clip that and just have. That's a very good comparison. I'm gonna clip that part because Joe is in then I'm right. Seriously though, how did I just compare a weather person to a draft analyst? I really just did that, and it makes perfect sense now.
Both same level of importance in this world.
I'm trying to think of what are you saying that they're really important? I feel like
I'm saying
rely on them. I feel like ahead, like if we're looking ahead, we rely on them a lot. I mean, mock drafts. How often do we talk about mock drafts?
Oh my god!
But then when it actually happens, we look back and say they were completely wrong. Why did we just talk about that for hours on end?
Because people need content.
True. I'm not disagreeing. Especially WFNY. We always need content, even though it is what it is. But I don't know where I'm going with this. Anything else with the Browns Jets? I mean, the fact that I think we stopped talking about them like 20 minutes ago, and we're 45 minutes in now. So that shows you how we feel about the game. But go on.
I think we're in agreement that they'll cover and win, obviously. But yeah, it should be a fun day. Joe Thomas is going to the Ring of Honor at halftime, so that's going to be a fun thing to watch. It's going to be fun to see if they can get to 2-0. Like, that's crazy that 1993, 2-0.
19. We were 2 years old the last time the Browns went 2-0.
Yeah,
man.
And we wouldn't be.
What was even? We're like, what could we have put that the Browns were 2-0 on? Computers weren't around. Yeah, really? I mean, I guess radio.
Early computers, I guess.
What's a
beeper?
A cell phone. Oh, a pager.
A pager.
A pager. You probably could find out on your pager that the Browns won. I remember thinking that used to be so cool when people would get like store updates on their pager. You wear it on your belt and it says like the Browns beat the Jets 27-5. I don't know how I just thought of 5, but that's just a weird story. But the pagers.
Just think 20 years from now, we're gonna be talking about Twitter like that or something like that.
True. Yeah, it's be like, wow, you only had an iPhone? What a loser.
You didn't get like magically sent to his brain that he knew the update of the score? Like,
you were talking on a podcast like everyone else in the world? What a loser.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, that just shows how long ago that was. 20 years ago or whatever. No, 30 years ago.
29 years ago to be exact.
Ooh, I'm struggling with math today.
29 years ago, the last time the Browns went 2-0.
I'm sorry, all the Ignatius math teachers I had. I'm sorry for the math problems today.
Yeah, like if we thought that 18 years has been a lot since the Browns went 1-0, add another 11 to that the Browns won their first 2 games.
Yeah, seriously.
And then I would say add however much that when the Browns won their first 3 games, but they also started 3-0, like we said earlier, in 1993, and then proceeded to go 7-9. So I just don't see, knock on wood, I don't see any way that the Browns do not start 2-0 this Sunday.
Yeah, it's nice to be at home in front of the crowd. It's going to be a short week after that. We'll talk about that next week on Tuesday. Tuesday night. So, it's a big week. They got to get this win. It's not a must win like early on, but it's going to be a big game that they need to put on the ledger here because it's going to be a tough road after these first 4 games.
Yes, I agree. I know we wanted to get. I know betting is not legal in Ohio until January 1st, 2023. Yeah. But one part of betting, wow,
wow, you got so proper. You got so proper there.
One part of betting is prop bets. Prop bets is like instead of betting on the Browns to cover 6.5, it's will Nick Chubb run for 5 million touchdowns? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So.
Let's keep track of this every week.
I'm totally
keep track of this.
Okay. Do you have a pen by you? Because I do not.
No, but I can.
I'll put
type it on my phone. Yeah.
Okay, you type it and then send it to me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Do you want me to create them, or I create some and ask you, and you create some and ask me?
Yeah. I say we do the same one. So we did the over under. I think are we in agreement that we're both going under?
Browns are going to cover the spread and go under. Yes.
Okay.
So cover 6.5, under 39.5.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have any prop bets? Pick out.
I'm just going to create some in my head because I don't think they have prop bets out yet on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Okay.
So Nick Chubb touchdowns, 2 or more, less than 2.
Less.
Mm-hmm. More. I'll go with 2 on the dot.
Okay. So
Kareem Hunt had 2 last week.
I'll go let's do 1.5.
Yeah. So over, yes, 1.5. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Nick Chubb touchdowns over under 1.5. I'll go over.
Okay. I'll go under. I hope it goes over.
Stay with Nick Chubb. And by the way, I'm just completely making these up. I don't see my prop bets on DraftKings. Nick Chubb, he had how many yards? He had 141 yards on 22 carries last week.
Yep.
Over under 120 yards.
I would say over on that one. I think it's gonna be tough.
Man, so you think he's gonna go over but only score once?
Yeah, I feel like the fourth quarter they're gonna be just running that ball.
But I feel like in the fourth quarter they're gonna be running the ball and it's not gonna be Nick Chubb. So I'll go
that's
under.
A good call. Good call. Okay.
Give Jerome Ford some carries in there, baby.
Yeah. How about Joe Flacco interceptions?
Oh God. The number always is
1.5. Yeah. 1.5.
1.5 though?
He had 1 last week, so will they get 2 or less than 1? I say over. I really think so.
Just to be different. No, I'll go over 2. Screw it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do a receiving one though.
Yeah.
David Njoku. Over under 5.5 receptions.
Under. Barely.
I'm thinking under 2.
Barely though. I think
Because
he'll get more than one.
he better get more than one. I mean, but this is a lot of prop bets too, because we need another one defensively. I'll go under as well. I think he'll get like right around 5. And like I said multiple times, these are not actual bets yet because I don't see them on DK. These are just made up.
Yeah,
I'll go one more, then you can go. I literally just had one. Now I can't think of it. Sacks. Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, over under 3.5 sacks together.
That's a good one. I would say over. This is a terrible offensive line.
I'm with you. I'm over as well.
This is a terrible offensive line.
So we think they're going to get at least 4, just those 2.
Yeah, I think 2 and 2 maybe.
Yeah, I'm over. Honestly, if that was the prop bet, I bet you it would be at least 4.5.
Yeah.
No, let's do that. Let's do 4.5. Over under 4.5 sacks. Between Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney.
I would say under on that one.
See, that's why 4.5. But 4.5, you actually had to think about it. 3.5, you're like, oh, easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
It's up to you. Want to keep it at 3.5?
Yeah, let's keep it at 3.5. That's more realistic.
Over.
Yeah. Just to compare, they had 3 sacks against by Baltimore. Baltimore sacked them 3 times last week, and Baltimore's not really. They've really lost a lot in their front 7, so that's kind of shows you what this offensive line can do.
True. Now you do one. You do 1 or 2 more, and then 6. Because we've done like 6, maybe. I think I've done 4. So you do like 2 more if you can. You can do 1.
I'll do Cade York. Cade York. Here we go.
God.
Cade York.
Yes. Over.
Will he hit a 45-yarder or more?
Yes.
I would say no, because I don't think they'll need him to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
45-yarder, that means they have it on the 28. Yeah, there's I'll go. I'll say yes.
And then let's see, one more. How many have we done? I don't know. Quite a few.
We've done like 6 or 7.
Let's do defense.
We haven't done any with Jacoby Brissett. Oh, yeah, we haven't done any with Jacoby yet, but you can go defense.
Okay, I can do Jacoby. How about I gave my prediction already today. How many passing yards? 200. What did they end with last week? I believe it was
Jacoby or Baltimore?
No, Jacoby. What did he have?
147.
Okay, let's go with 200. How about that? Over under.
Under.
I say over. I think I said 225. So I'll go over. Nice.
I mean,
okay.
Doesn't seem like that much. Maybe I will. Now that I think about it, maybe I will go over because the Jets defense is that bad.
Yeah.
I'll go over.
We'll remember this.
I'll go over.
This will be kind of part of our game this year. We'll do some over under betting stuff and kind of add some fun to this. Come back next week to see who wins. And
somehow we've literally had this podcast run for 54 minutes because we went off on 5 billion tangents.
Weathermen are draft analysts.
Weatherman are draft analysts, and Blossom Music Center was built by the same person that built First Energy Stadium.
True story.
All right. Any final thoughts?
No, I just think a win is what has to happen, and I think will happen. So,
I think a win. Yeah, you said it has to happen. I'll say that if the Browns want to be a playoff team this year, which it's going to be tough with Jacoby for 11 games. Mm-hmm. If the Browns want to be a playoff team, Sunday's a must-win.
Yep, gotta take it.
Can't give beat the bad teams.
Can't give away these games,
especially at home.
Really bad.
If it was at New York, it'd be like okay, but it's a home game, a home opener, nonetheless.
Right. Yep.
So that's it. That's it for me. Have fun at the game.
Thank you.
And I guess we'll be talking about, knock on wood, hopefully we'll be talking about a win Sunday around 5 o'clock. We'll be back here on like Sunday at 5:30. Talk about the W.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Until then, and as always, go Brownies.
Go Browns.